Hello friends, welcome to our YouTube channel Study Point by Mr. Singh. So in today's video we are going to learn how to capture the Azure virtual machines and how we can create new virtual machine from that capture image. So let's go on Azure portal. Let's log in with your subscription ID and password which you have. Log in it, and once your virtual subscription ID logged in on Azure portal, our first step is, let me note it on notepad. First step, create virtual machine in Azure. So we can create a virtual machine with any configuration. So let's create a virtual machine first. Under virtual machine, click on add virtual machine. After that, it will ask you the details of your virtual machine configuration. So subscription type is default automatic selected. If you have multiple subscription, then you can select subscription which you want to use here. And after that, you have to use create security group in resource group, in which resource group you want to create any resource. So I don't have any resource group right now. I'm going to create new resource group here. Type anything name which you want. I'm going to type here RG1. RG means resource group 1 and after that it will ask you the virtual machine name, what you want to keep the name. So like CTPLLT 0098, you can take any format according to you, because mostly companies you will get the default format for creation of servers, so you guys can use that formats. And after that it will ask you the regions in which location you want to create your virtual machine. So I will select East US. You guys can select according to your requirements. And after that I'm going to use Ubuntu 18.4.0. If you want to guys any default another OS, you guys can select that one. So I'm going to use 18.4 here. And size of the virtual machine means which configuration you want to use here. Like I'm going to use standard B1S here, one virtual CPU, 1 gigabit memory, and this is charges for monthly for this configuration. If you guys want to change, you guys can change from here, select the VM size, and you guys can select you here. You will get the loads of configuration. So I'm going to use default here, select. I'm going to set username and password. So let me type username, let me type the password. So password strength is here minimum 12 character and maximum is 123 characters. So after that it will ask you the port number, in which port you guys want to allow on your virtual machines. So I want to allow only SSH port, because I want to allow this access this virtual machine from SSH port. So also we have to allow port 80 on this machine, because I'm going to web server install in that virtual machines. And after that we will access that virtual machine from public IP in our browser. So I will allow that port after creation of the virtual machine. So click on next. I'm going to keep the same default size here, 30 GB. If you guys want to use any maximum size from here, you guys can use 2 TB till 2 terabytes. So after that OS disk type, I'm going to use here standard HDD, and all details I'm going to keep defaults. After that networking, in networking chapter I'm going to keep defaults everything here. Next, under management also I'm going to disable only boot diagnostic, other things are same. Advanced I'm going to keep it default. Tag I'm going to mention here capture demo, name here capture demo technology VM. means technology department VM we are going to capture. So you guys can define according to you. After that, review. Once review is validation passed, then we can click on create the virtual machines. And you guys can see that here, that standard V1S by Microsoft, and this is our per hour charges on this virtual machine. If we guys continue this virtual machine for 1 hour, then Microsoft will charge you only 0.68 paisa. So after that, I'm going to click on create. So once you click on create, you will get the notification on right side top corner under the notification tab here. You guys can see that here deployment is in progress, deployment to resource group RG1 is in progress. So all notification you guys will get here. And also I have told you many times, like whenever we are creating any virtual machine in Azure, then automatically it will create 4 things with the virtual machines. So that is virtual network adapter, you can say that virtual interface, network interface, and another thing is virtual network, and next is network security group, which is the security for your virtual machines, and after that is public IP address, and 5th step is virtual machine creation. So you guys can see that here 1 2 3 4 and 5 step is creating virtual machine. So your virtual machine creation is in process, so let's wait for some time. So you guys can see that here your resource group resource virtual machine is created. So here also you can see that alert is also deployment succeed, deployment create VM, this chronicle Ubuntu server 18 has been created successfully. So you guys can go to resource here also, and you can click on here also, go to resource, and under the resource you will get the details of your virtual machines. Okay, so let's copy the public IP here first. Let me try to access it here. So you can see that we can't access this public IP because one thing is that we don't have allowed any other port here. Second thing is we don't have configured any services on port 80. So we have to do two things. So let's access this virtual machine first through public IP. Let's access it via PuTTY because we have allowed only SSH port. So let me open it. Yes, let me maximize the font size here. Change settings, appearance, change, bold 20, and apply. I hope you guys can see better now. Let me enter your username and password which we have created while we are created the virtual machine. So my username is study and password is which I have created. Enter. So once enter, you guys can see that I have logged in on my virtual machine through public IP successfully. So let me clear the screen here. So if you guys want to install any services here, so let's update first it sudo, so go to the root directory, and after that sudo apt cat update. This command is used for update your operating system. It will download the latest patches for Ubuntu server 18.0. And once it was installed, then we will install the service here. So now we have to install service on port 80. So let's install it. Sudo apt cat install. What we have to install? Apache 2, and click on enter. Click on yes. We want to continue. Then it will download the package of Apache service from internet and install it on our virtual machine Ubuntu server 2018. So now you can see that we have configured Apache service in our virtual machine. If you are try to access this virtual machine through public IP in browser, then we can't access it still because we don't have allowed port 80 on that security group. So we have to allow port 80. Okay. So you can see that here Apache service is installed. So let's update the security group first. Networking, we have to allow the port. So right now you can see that only 22 port we have allowed here and all other port is blocked. So we have to allow port 80 also. So let's click on add inbound rule. Here you can configure any IP based or service tag based, application security based. So I'm going to use it any as of now. Port number, source port range, you guys can select all, or if you want any specific port you can define that one. So I'm going to use only port 80 here and all other things is defaults, and I am going to change the priority here 310 and port is 80. You guys can define the name according to you. So I'm going to click on add here. Once I will added this port here, you guys can see that here we port added it like 300 SSH 22. We will get the details here 310 port 80, which name we have mentioned, and port 80, protocol any, source any, destination any. So means we will get the traffic on all the networks, on public networks, but we will get every hit on our port 80. So now if I will refresh this page, then we will get the default home page of our Apache service. So you guys can see that we have accessed that Apache home page in our virtual machines. So that is the main practice which we have to done, and now we are going to on that topics which we have to done in this video. So we have to capture the image for these virtual machines. So let me capture this. So while we are capturing image, that our virtual machine is going to deallocate states. So how to capture this instance? Let me stop it, exit hit here first. Okay, let me close this page also. I'm going to capture this virtual machines. So let's create on capture here. You guys can see that. Once clicked on capture, it will ask you the name for image what you want to create. So we guys can put name here. Capture demo. Okay, and resource group is same. If you guys want to create another resource group, or you guys want to create a different resource group, you guys can select here. But we have only one resource group here, so I am going to use same resource group. Okay, and after that it will show you before creating the image the virtual machine will be deallocated automatically. Like once it will create the capture image of our current virtual machine, that time our virtual machine is on automatically go into the deallocated states. And if we will select here, automatically delete this virtual machine after creating the image. So like if I will check this option, then once our capture image created, then it will delete the old virtual machines automatically. So I'm going to uncheck it here first, and after that it will ask you the name of the virtual machines. So what is the name of your virtual machine? It's CTPL LT0098. Okay, CTPL. Okay, and click on create. So like you guys can see on the top corner in the states stopping virtual machines, if you guys click on here and go to the resource your virtual machine, go virtual machine, you guys can see here it's in deallocating status now, but it's still in deallocating. Once it's stop state, then you will get the here of states here stop deallocated. So let's wait for some time. Now you can see that status is stopped and deallocated, and after that it will automatically creating image for that virtual machines which we have created earlier. So let's wait for some more times. It's creating our virtual machine image. You guys can see that successfully created a virtual machine image. Okay, if I will refresh it here, this virtual machine in same states. So I'm not going to use this virtual machine now. I'm going to create from this virtual machine a capture image with new EC2 and new virtual machines. So you guys can click on here also. You will get the image here, and you will get all the configuration which we have on that virtual machines. Or if you guys want to search here, you guys can search from here also. Capture image. Okay, you will get the details, same details. So after that, you guys want to create new virtual machine for that from that captured, which we have captured the old virtual machines. So I'm going to click on create. It will ask you the same details here, but it will not ask you the subscription type. Resource group is same. Okay, virtual machine name here है demo p001 कर देता हूँ, demo p001. You guys can define according to you, and it will take resource group automatic from your resource group, region from your resource group. And after that, main thing is here image, which we have to select according to the captured image. We don't need to select from these image which is provided by Microsoft on Azure consoles. We have to select that capture image which we have created from the virtual machine. Okay, so let's select the capture demo, and after that it will ask you the configuration. Let's select here configuration also. I'm going to keep same default configuration in this one also, and username and password here I'm going to use different password and username here. Okay, and after that we are going to port allow on 80. Next, in networking I'm going to select standard SSD, and image disk size it will automatically create the same. And after that it will ask you for the resource group. Virtual network same, which is created. Subnet this, public IP this, network security group basic, public inbound rule. We have allowed only 22 ports. So I'm going to click next. I'm going to off boot diagnostic here, disable off, and all other setting I'm going to keep defaults. Next. So once review validation is passed, then click on create. And once your virtual machine is created from the captured image, you guys don't need to install web server on that virtual machines. You have to just allow the port 80 on that virtual machine, and you guys can access that services which you have installed on earlier virtual machine. So let's wait for some time. So now you can see that our virtual machine is created from the captured image. So let's click on go to resource, and let's copy this public IP first. I'm going to access this public IP here. So now you can see that I'm still unable to access this web server on browser through public IP. Why? Because we have to allow the port 80 on this virtual machine also. So let's go on networking part. Allow the add the port 80, sorry port, yes, port 80. So let's address any. I'm going to keep default settings same. Port 80 we want to allow. If you want to allow here, allow TCP, or if you want to any, you can select here. So I'm going to allow this one. Priority 310, you can guys change it here. So port name I'm going to keep at 80. So like it's creating the rules. Once port 80 is added here and we will refresh the page, then you guys can see that we will able to access that web server home page without configuration on that virtual machine. Why? Because we have created that virtual machine from that virtual machine which was created with web server, and after that we have captured that virtual machines. So you guys can see that we are able to access the web page of that virtual machines without any configuration on VM. So this types of capture feature is usable in Azure. So you guys can do practical ones and then you guys can get more confident on this. So this is the main feature of captures. In next videos we will learn how to create the snapshot of the disk and how to create the snapshot of entire virtual machine, how to create backup of entire virtual machine, and how to restore that. We are going to do in next coming lectures. So thank you guys, keep watching, and bye bye.